Hey guys, what's up? Joker here. Just finished the PlayStation showcase. I thought I'd make a reaction to it. I think for most of the showcase, it was like kind of normal, and then like the last 10 minutes were just absolutely crazy. I think that's just the gut reaction I'm getting right now. Um, so let's run through it. I mean, well, the first thing announced: Star Wars KOTOR PS5 remake. I think that's absolutely crazy. I think that's something a lot of people have been asking for, something a lot of people have been predicting for a long time. I never played the original KOTOR in 2003. I didn't have an Xbox. Also in 2003, I was 5. So, not something I really played, but I'm really excited to get into it. Something a lot of people said was really good. So, definitely interested in that. Then Project Eve. Honestly, I was like, what is this game? And then I was like, oh, this is Parasite Eve. And to be honest, I don't even know what Parasite Eve is. I just know it's an old game. It was made by Square. I think it originally debuted on PS1. And this looks like I don't even, it's gotta be like something to do with that because it's called Project Eve. But it's not being made by Square, which is really weird. Um, I honestly don't know who owns the IP or whatever, but it looks like it's a PS5 exclusive too. It looked really cool. It kind of looked like Near Automata, to be honest, and that really gets me interested in it. I liked the look of it. I liked the combat. I liked how they showed a lot of gameplay too. I think that was really important. You saw the UI and the HUD too, not just everything turned off. I think that was important to see. I liked the action a lot, and I thought that was a good game. So I thought they started off really strong, and then they go more into the third party things. Forspoken, I think that looked really cool. I've always been interested in it. Delayed, I mean, well, not delayed. Well, it's gonna be in spring 2022. I think that's fine. Um, I think also I'll talk about it later, but that has to factor into a lot of the other PlayStation exclusives. Then Tiny Tina, March 25th, 2022. Just looks like more Borderlands 3, to be honest. I'm interested. I've always liked Borderlands. I'll probably play that when it comes out. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to say about it. It looked more Borderlands 3. Talk about Rainbow Six Extraction. Don't really give a shit. I love Rainbow, but this just doesn't. I just don't care about it at all. I know other people, maybe other people will care about it. From what I've heard on the internet, what I've read, nobody gives a shit about this game. So yeah, Alan Wake Remastered. I think it was kind of spoiled when they announced it earlier in the week, but this is really cool and really exciting because it never came to PlayStation. I played it before. I really liked it. I don't see myself going back and playing it, especially since October 5th, 2021. Probably not going to be going back and playing it, but really cool nonetheless. GTA 5, really nothing to say. It's coming out March 22nd. That's about it. Um, okay. Um, like this is at the point where it's like slowing down for me, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? They announced that indie game. I think it was called Tachi, or whatever. Let me look that up. Um, yeah, that indie game at the end. I thought that was. I thought it looked interesting. Like when you were transferring to different characters and stuff like that. Yeah, Tisha. I thought it was a really unique world and very interested in it. No date or anything, but it did show gameplay, so that's nice to see. Again, I like seeing gameplay rather than cinematic trailers. Um, the Radiohead game, they literally didn't show anything about that game, and apparently it's coming out in November. Okay. Deathloop, I don't know why the fuck that was in here. It's coming out next week. We didn't need like a 2 minute thing about it. Just saying, hey, Deathloop out next week. That would have been fine. Vampire Masquerade Blood Hunt. Don't give a shit about that game. It looked cool. I'll say that it looked interesting, but again, I just don't give a shit about a BR that's probably gonna be dead in a week at max. I mean, at the least. Ghostwire Tokyo. Still don't know what the fuck this game is about, but it's great that we're slowly figuring it out. It's supposed to come out in 2022, so there's that. Guardians of the Galaxy. Definitely interested in the game. Liked what they showed. It was more about the story than gameplay, like when they showed at the Square Enix. Um, and that does it for the third party. Yeah, and apparently So yeah, apparently it's coming. Project Eve is coming PS4, PS5, PC, and Xbox One, which is interesting. It wasn't really clear, but yeah, the Sony Interactive Entertainment wasn't in front of it like KOTOR. KOTOR to me seems like it's going to be an exclusive because it said Sony Interactive Entertainment, and that's usually a key of if something's exclusive or not, or if they just put PlayStation Studios. But usually, if they put PlayStation Studios, they mean what the next section was, which was Uncharted, Thieves End, and Lost Legacy coming to PC and PS5. I don't think anybody was surprised about that. That's been rumored for a long time. Great game. Kind of weird though on PC. There's no Uncharted collection, so that honestly was a weird choice. It's like just put Uncharted collection out with it, and that would have been fine. It's kind of weird, but okay. And then this is when I literally shit myself. Is when it was Insomniac and Marvel. I was like, finally, Spider-Man 2. I was saying Spider-Man 2 like a bunch of times, and it turns out it's Wolverine. I was like, holy shit. One, they don't let Insomniac sleep, like at all. Like, how do they get sleep? They're working on so many goddamn games. I mean, Ratchet, Miles Morales, both came out very recently. And then, they're working on Spider Man 2, and now they're working on this game. It's like, I imagine in Burbank, they have two or three teams. Probably one working on a VR that's a smaller team, and then two bigger teams it seems like the leadership from Miles Morales was put onto this Wolverine game, and the original Spider-Man leadership was put onto the Spider-Man 2. And then in North Carolina, they have a studio. They seem to be working as a support Ratchet and Clank studio. Um, that's how I assume it. They also have a ton of people. I think they're at around 300, so it's not crazy that they would have multiple teams. Um, Gran Turismo 7, kind of weird how they did this. They showed gameplay, which was nice, but then they talked about a release date in the thing after the showcase. So technically, it wasn't part of the showcase, but they said March for Gran Turismo. That's cool. I mean, racing games for me, not really into them. I played Forza a bit. I played, honestly, the racing game that I played the most was Gran Turismo 3 when I first got a PS2. It was bundled with it. Um, so yeah, I mean, that bundle was legendary. It was like Jam Pack, Gran Turismo 3 and Ratchet and Clank. The original one. It was so good. But I'm definitely interested in checking out GT7. Marvel Spider-Man 2. Finally, they announced it. 2023. Really, really like what they did. Just showing, just a brief synopsis. It's 2023, so you're gonna see gameplay maybe next year or the year after that. It just depends on probably when they release it. I'd imagine this comes out in spring 2023. Just because they don't usually release things in the winter time. They're big exclusives. Um, but Venom sounds like Craven also. Craven the Hunter. That sounds really good. I'm really pumped for this game, and I just can't wait for it. And then God of War, the next game, I just can't wait for it. I mean, not again, not a surprise that they showed gameplay and stuff to me, at the very least, and from the consensus or wherever you were looking on games, showing you a good chunk of gameplay, showing you a big synopsis of what God of War Ragnarok is going to be, and that's the official name. Coming out probably 2022. They didn't put a date on it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's late 2022, just to space it out from Horizon, which is in February, and then GT, which is apparently in March too. So I don't think they're gonna go April with God of War. I think the earliest this game would come out would probably be June, but I could see it coming out in August to November range. Um, and that was it. It was a 40-minute event, not a lot of things. Like I said, the third party announcements, like after Project Eve, Tiny Tina was cool to see and stuff like that. It was definitely slowing down with Rainbow Six Extraction. Like I think after Forspoken is honestly where it slowed down for me. Rainbow Six Extraction, Alan Wake, GTA 5 really slowed it down. Ghostwire Tokyo was kind of interesting, but again, it kind of just doesn't look. It's kind of like, what is this game? It's kind of like Death Stranding in that way. Everyone's kind of trying to figure out what the hell this game is. Then it goes to Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought that was okay, but then it slowed down again with this weird battle royale crap, Deathloop. the kid radio thing, which they literally just titled it. And then it picked up with the indie games and then went strong. And so I think honestly, the beginning was strong, the end was strong, the middle was okay, and overall, I think the showcase was just super strong. I think this is exactly what you should expect from a show. Something people call showcase is big games, big things, big moments that is really tight and done really well. 40 minutes. I thought that wasn't going to be enough for them to put out lots of details, lots of good hard hitters, but it was perfect. I mean, it was really, really good. They have to do that third party thing. I kind of understand it, and they made it as painless as possible because the beginning was strong and the end was so strong too. Um, it was honestly, if this was at E3, this would have been the best E3 showing by by a mile. um, it was so good. It's definitely the best showcase any game presentation of the year. I was honestly really impressed. You know, you were seeing those weird rumors about Infamous and Bloodborne and stuff like that. I knew that stuff wasn't gonna happen. You knew you were gonna see stuff that was coming out within 12 months, or like so end of 2022. You knew you were gonna see that. They threw Wolverine, they threw Spider-Man. That's just stuff to get you hype and just to let you know, hey, this stuff is here. But everything else seems like it's gonna be 2022. Um, and I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. Like I said, I've been a PlayStation guy for a long time, and I've been waiting for this for some time. You know, for them to come out with and show what they got, because after God of War, after Gran Turismo 7, it's like, what do you have? And I think that was nice to show Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. It's like, hey, this is what we got. We got this stuff way out there. Um, and it just, there's still more. They still have more studios that have stuff to do. I mean, you look at Sucker Punch. What are they doing? Naughty Dog, they still haven't said anything about Factions 2 or whatever they're making. Santa Monica, it seemed like they kind of hinted that they have a second team that is working on something else in that post showcase stream, which is really interesting and honestly not too surprising too. Santa Monica is also a huge development team. It doesn't surprise me that they have a second team working on something else. That's maybe pre-production or something like that, but they didn't want to show it. And honestly, Wolverine is also pretty early. I mean, that team that worked on Miles Morales, they just finished it. This is probably something that got signed, dated a few months ago or something like that. They're working on a pitch or something, and when it got approved, Marvel gave them the clear to. They just did this cinematic trailer, and it's just about hype. It's the same thing with the Indiana Jones game. It's just about hyping people up and showing them this is what we got in the future. So honestly, really impressed with this showcase. I loved everything they showed. Again, except for that middle part. I think after Tiny Tina is where it kind of fell off for me and then picked back up with that indie game. But Chia, I think is what they're called. Really like that. And then it ended super strong. I mean, I loved how they went like that with their PlayStation Studio stuff from Uncharted all the way to God of War in like the span of 10 minutes. They did that. But yeah, that's what I thought. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Thumbs up, thumbs down, and A, B, C, whatever the hell. And please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I'll see you in the next video. So bye.